Our boy Wobbuffet finally made it to Unova. Yo, what's up everyone? TreyMail1 here and welcome back to another Pokémon Journeys anime review. Today we're covering episode 48, Lucario and Cinderace's Wacky Adventure in Unova. So, this is pretty much a filler episode. There's some pretty nice moments and some actual nice things that I noticed in this episode, but not too much I can really say, but let me go ahead and get right into my thoughts in the summary. For starters, it seems like Journeys is starting to break out of its episodic formula because this episode is actually a continuation from last week's episode where Go won the eating competition and is now on his trip to Unova, and that's what this episode is about. I do love that they're starting to, break out of the episodic formula, but it's kind of upsetting that Dragonite and Greedent weren't here because Greedent was the one who won the competition, but instead they bring out Lucario and Cinderace, obviously for the plot of this episode because that seems to be the only two Pokemon they focus on. Team Rocky, who have been getting a lot of appearances lately, are here as well because, they were in the competition as well and knew that Ash and Go were coming here. So they came to try and get Pikachu. And my boy Wobbuffet finally made it to Unova. If y'all didn't see the Black and White series, Wobbuffet had to be left behind because, they were going to Unova. Unova was like only new Pokemon. And, Wobbuffet would have threw them off a bit. But obviously that logic's out the window now. We got the Wobbuffet here. Let's go. This episode does a really great job at showing off Lucario and Cinderace's new personalities with, Cinderace kind of being like Score Buddy and Lucario actually being kind of interesting. Ash asks if he wants some ice cream, just looks at him and walks away. Now, normally I would be like, oh, this may be leading to something. Maybe there's going to be some development between Ash and Lucario where they have a few differences, but considering how Journeys has been going so far, I don't think this is going to lead to anything. It is a possibility that when Bia comes back, she loves sweets. And they had that nice moment of Bia and Riolu, where Riolu wanted to eat some sweets from Bia. Maybe, Bia tries to give Lucario some sweets and kind of notices how different it's acting. And it might be like, you need to, snap back into your regular self. I don't know. That's a possibility. I would love if that actually happens. But we only have to wait and see. Team Rocket ended up building a robot Pikachu that actually looks pretty good. And it's a pretty great invention. The only thing is it says Hikachu instead of Pikachu. Pikachu ends up choking on some food and they end up mistaking it for the wrong Pikachu and grabbing their own Pikachu that they invented. Lucario and Cinderace see this and follow after thinking that this was our Pikachu, and that's basically the plot of this episode. A lot has changed since these two have evolved though. Lucario doesn't have his, sweet, adorable little Riolu personality anymore. It's always been, a strong fighter, but now it's just grown so cold. Through this whole episode, it and Cinderace just have a lot of conflict where it's just like, doesn't want to be bothered by Cinderace. And, I'm glad to see that Cinderace has his Score Buddy personality back. I will admit, I was growing on Red Boot a lot and it's, cool, calm personality. But I am glad to see that it's, fun side is back again. And, just seeing these two go at it was pretty interesting. In the alley scene, I think they parallel Ash and Go pretty well where, they both wanted to do two different things, but they couldn't agree and they started to argue. I thought that was a pretty nice nod. Now, that might not have been, a direct reference to episode 3, but if it was, then great job, Journeys. That was a pretty nice reference showing, that even Ash and Go's Pokemon have different views and ways of doing stuff. And can I also mention this joke that me and my buddy Goggle Master made, and that's what's with Unova Cities being so empty all the time. We don't see any other people or Pokemon in this city, this huge city. And this reminds me of the Keldeo movie because that whole freaking fight with Kira and Keldeo was going on through that whole city and we don't see a single person or anything. It's just like, what the heck, Unova? We also end up seeing the Rocket Lottery again, and I gotta admit, it has been a nice little break of not seeing this thing in a while because the last few Team Rocket episodes, we haven't really seen it. But yeah, the fight between Ash and Go's Pokemon and the Sock and Throw was pretty nice. It was interesting to see how Lucario and Cinderace, worked on their differences and found a strategy of using that, goo to their advantage to defeat both of these Pokemon, along with the most epic Aura Sphere and Pyro Ball ever, yo. I love that scene so much of them two fusing their attacks. That was pretty epic and cool. And I would love to see a double battle with Ash or multi-battle with Ash, Go, and Lucario and Cinderace. I think that'd be pretty amazing seeing what they can do against two other trainers. I know we saw Mewtwo in the Eternatus fight, but two actual strong trainers, fighting Ash and Go. I would love to see how that would happen. The episode ends off with the Pokemon realizing that the Pikachu was a fake and that the real Pikachu was here the whole time in a nice funny way. And of course, Cinderace makes Lucario mad again, and the episode ends with Lucario chasing and trying to fight Cinderace. And I gotta admit, I'm gonna miss the cute, adorable Riolu personality. Like, Lucario's pretty cool, but Ash is so different. Its temper is really bad, and I do really hope that we get some type of episode where Bia realizes or points this out. Maybe Ash and Lucario have a bit of disagreement in battle, and they kind of work on that, because I think that'll be a pretty good character development for Ash and Lucario in the future. But other than that, there's not too much I could really say for this episode. It was straight filler. Go didn't even catch a new Pokemon. And that's the thing, you know, I'm glad that they're showing off Lucario and Cinderace's personalities in this episode, because, you know, they are newly evolved Pokemon. But at the same time, we really got to see Ash's other Pokemon, Dragonite, Gengar, and Farfetch. Like, there's no excuse for this episode why Ash couldn't call out his other Pokemon. And, you know, they could have all just been eating ice cream and Lucario and Cinderace just went. Like, I'm so confused as to why Ash doesn't bring these Pokemon on his journeys. Like, we've seen countless times Pikachu and Riolu are the only ones with him when he has to fight Team Rocket or an important event's happening for real. The Darkest Day did a great job bringing Dragonite and Gengar. The Alola episode brought everyone, but they only just came to eat. And it's like, yeah, why isn't he bringing this Pokemon? This is the World Championship, and he's going to need a full team for, like, if Ash versus Leon's going to be a 6v6, he can't just rely on Pikachu and Lucario. So I'm hoping that next year, in the new season, we will get to see his other Pokemon as well. I'm glad that Lucario and Cinderace has been getting a lot of great spotlight in the Darkest Day, Mewtwo in this episode, but I actually do hope that they kind of take a back seat and let some of the other Pokemon shine a bit. Next week's episode at least is a step in the right direction, as they're finally giving Chloe another episode, and a big one too, as she will be getting Eevee and the Rotom phone. But yeah, everyone, in the comment section down below, let me know what y'all thought of today's episode. I'd love to hear. You know, do you agree with the whole Lucario Cinderace thing, or does it not bother you? Please let me know in the comment section down below. And thank you all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. TreyMail1. Peace out.